Wow, the Canadiens first in the Atlantic Division. How about that, my friend? On November 9, 2025, and the Montreal are number one in the Atlantic Division and number two in the standing NHL. What a great year we have! What a great night we're going to have tonight all together on the Great Red Lights show with Coach tonight directly for the Kingdom of the Animal in Thailand on amazing great Sunday night. Many of you have some snow around you. Hopefully they will be out tomorrow. Maybe not much a problem for everyone for your transportation for Monday morning because it's not good. The Monday morning you go out with cold. It's cold outside and you have a snow to take care before you go out for your work. But the weekend is over until the show tonight because we have a lot to talk about the Montreal Canadiens, the NHL, and a great week for the Montreal Canadiens and what's going on with your tricolore, le bleu blanc rouge. Wow. Are you excited? I am. You should be excited. Last night, this game changed me. The fact is it real? Is it true? What's going on? We did not have long time. I cannot remember where we score 4, 5, 6 goals per night. And we can win any game. And I can go all the way like that. You have to realize who they are, the Montreal Canadiens. I was always skeptical about, maybe not, maybe this. But right now, with the game last night, I still believe Montreal is going to have a great year. I still believe the full, complete team is not done yet. You still have a lot of work to do for the management. But still, it's fun to watch. It's excited to watch. And hopefully have some kind of vibes like I have right now about the Montreal Canadiens. And of course, we're going to talk about Caufield tonight. We want to talk about Caufield because Caufield is on fire, my friend. And then we're going to talk about this a bit later. We're going to also talking about the Montreal Canadiens, what is coming next week. Talk about fun prospect for the Montreal. A lot of them have a great week for the Montreal Canadiens. So the Montreal is looking good. The Rocket looking great. Both game win this weekend. Perfect weekend for them. And is that what win? What you can ask more? Alouette, gentil Alouette, going to be at the Grey Cup. We're going to do the game live on that night. We're going to play, I think it's November 16, I believe. Again, the Saskatchewan, directly from Winnipeg. We're going to send Enortap live in Winnipeg with Dan Hashem on the side of the line to do the game live. So I can wait to see both of them directly at the Hockey Nation, talking about the Alouette versus the Saskatchewan. Thanks to be with us tonight. Don't forget, please, to click on the like, subscribe at the Hockey Nation Live Show, and don't please become a member of the channel. He sit at the green room, and the Ottawa score, Vanecek. Wow, Vanecek between the 5-0. Anyhow, he sit at the green room. He just finished his hair, get out of the makeup room. And now he sit. He want to talk about the Montreal Canadiens. He want to talk with all of you. He missed all of you guys. He's back in the house, directly from Toronto. He feel better now. The Blue Jays, it's over. He finally sweep this on his head. Now he's focused on the Montreal Canadiens. And of course, we're talking about who? Mr. Enortap is in the house tonight.
Hello, Coach. Hello, Hockey Nation. Always great to get together on a Sunday to discuss not
So
just the
great.
Montreal Canadiens, but life in general and all our other favorite sports. And yeah, Coach, it's a little bit better with the Blue Jay loss, but it still stings. It stings.
I know.
It's still there.
But
It's right,
they have a couple of
right back
signatures,
here.
right? They signed a couple of players going to be more interesting to follow up. The minor league and the major league showcase is coming in December.
Yeah.
So those kind of moments right there, when everybody go in one location and they They signed a couple of UFA, everything. So we'll be interesting what happening for sure. Marco Larabi is in the house tonight. Larry Lavallée from Arizona. Green Valley is in the house. Ron from Utah is also. Harry is also in the house. Then we have Billy from Nova Scotia. Billy is, the weekend is already over, coach. Now I have 5 more days to work in front of me. Billy, go one day at a time, Mr. Tap. He only dream every week about the Friday night happy hour, Mr. Tap. That's Billy. He opened the Billy Bar for the weekend, so we can wait. I can see a Billy Bar, Mr. Tap, at Jamaica. I think Billy should move in Jamaica, open a Billy Bar with some kind of cheese around the bar. But that's a subject for the time. Gary C, like I said, is in the house. Arjik Labro from New Jersey is in the house. Larry Lavallée has said, welcome back. Rick Robitaille, notre ami Rick, how are you, my friend? Big supporter of the Hockey Nation. Marco talk about some update. Ovidio was with us this morning at the French show. Thanks so much, Ovidio, to follow us a lot during the week at any time, at any moment. And then we have Rick, Ron, Garrett, Billy, Harry, Ovidio. I tried to pick up some people, new people here, Mr. Tap. And then we have Frank Santoro. Frank said us, we could win this game today. Pittsburgh lost 3-2. But look, cannot complain too much. Pittsburgh have a great start. Frank, we're going to talk about you, Pittsburgh, in the next couple of minutes. Then we have RJ and Enortap, Billy. RJ. Samuel is in the house. Henry is in the house. Then we have Stand the Man, knock the door, all from Snowy, Toronto, Stand the Man. Claude Richard, sit Ottawa, and the house and the living room said, you know what? I closed the curtain. I don't know what's going on outside. I don't need to know what's going on. So, Claude, stay there. Just listen in our tap, and you will be fine. Don't worry about the rest. No need to go out until tomorrow when the snow be gone. And Ottawa, la capitale du Canada. Well, Ottawa Senator is winning, Mr. Senator, 3-1 against Utah. Utah, that would give them what? 4
Bit of
losses?
a
No,
skid.
5
Or
losses in the
five,
in the last
five.
6 games.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this is a dream day for PLW, Mr. Tap. Snow, sports, football, cricket, mini pot
Beer.
is.
Beer.
Here we go. Beer, of course. This is that's the reason he have the weather notification, Mr. Tap. He check the weather. When you see a storm or something, he pick up at the
Yep.
provisoire is full the weekend. He fill up the weekend fridge, Mr. Tap. He go through that one. Evan Yamamoto score visit the Habs yesterday. Cannot this name anymore. Yeah, PLW. That's a good one
I
about
agree,
that one.
PLW.
That's a good one. Rudolph, Mr. Tap, is with us tonight. Rudolph is somewhere around the world. Yeah, I think he's in Mexico, I believe. That could be around here. He's in South America. At some point, Rudolph go to Colombia, to Nicaragua, to Ecuador, whatever it is. Rudolph is there to teach
Why not?
online. So he's a great live. We met him, by the way, a couple of months, a year ago. Mark Elliott knocked the door from Ontario. Oilers are the big trouble. Petit sick last night at 9-1. Skinner, Picard, Bouchard cannot cover anybody defensively. Not looking good, the Oilers,
Ugly.
honestly.
Ugly.
I'm glad I did not do the game. I want to do the game. I did not do it, but I'm happy about that one for sure. We did not do the game. So,
At
like
home,
we do at
too.
the beginning of the show, Mr. Tap, we do the headline. Thanks for all the like we got. We appreciate a lot for all of you to be at the Hockey Nation show. The headline of the night, Mr. Tap, we're going to do this. By the way, Marco will be with us Wednesday night for the Habs Hump Day, where Mr. Billy said, oh, middle of the week, this, I like that show, Mr. Natap, because he have only 2 more days to finish his week. So I'm sure he is
That's
ready.
it.
But Mr. Natap, we're going to start with you. And I think you have to applaud for what you talk about. It was well. I didn't have the time to put picture. I wish I can do something about that. But let's
That's
do it
okay.
with your first tonight.
Yeah, for sure, coach. It's I called it "What's Life All About," really, and I sort of want to take a bit of a sidestep from hockey. I mean, hockey's always great because it fills our days with joy and uh, a lot of talk and conversation. But in life, sometimes things take precedence. And I just want to take a moment to sort of recognize the opening game ceremonies that were conducted last night at the Bell Center. As we know, Montreal always does things up the right way in terms of ceremonies, and last night really was no exception. Like in front of 21,000 fans yesterday, they held their annual Hockey Fights Cancer event, and it was truly difficult, to be honest, to hold back, emotions and even tears as they introduce some of the kids that currently are suffering and struggling with treatments that this horrific disease uh, tolls upon them. They were accompanied by the players, which was a great touch as well, and it was good to see. I mean, I think we can all really associate with either our own battles with cancer sometimes, or people within our family, friends. I know that I could take the liberty to say you've also have gone through a similar experience yourself, so you know exactly the kind of fortitude that is needed in order to beat this battle. And the players also took it to heart because they really dedicated this game also to their coach, Grillo, Roger Grillo, who just recently was diagnosed with cancer, and he's going through a tough time right now. So our prayers and thoughts go out to not only him, but everybody that is going through this. I think the most inspiring point, though, came at the end of the game when the young man came on that had uh, overcome, thankfully, his long battle with cancer, and he rang the bell. And I think that bell really signified, not just a victory, but also an emergence and a second chance at life. And I think when we put that all together, we see that life's really about that and getting opportunities where we can continue to live in a healthy fashion, peaceful fashion as well.
Yeah, what's some tap about that? Um, this is what sport is all about. Um, at the end of the day, I think sport brings some kind of the positivity, hope, and for the people and any sport. I'm not talking only hockey. I'm not talking about major. How many times we go to minor league hockey or baseball, and they recognize those people suffer and they battle every single day with something very difficult, and to give them the time to express. What for me was yesterday is how the player are touched and they joined the opponent team example, and those moments like that that make us in perspective. The game is secondary versus what they have to do every single day for me. And I will add more about that is like and we don't know, Mr. Tap. Yep, some players, it's fun team. They do things like that without mention anything. They go to hospital. They use their name or to do something like nobody knows, and this is what it's all about. So uh, credo for the people did it yesterday for the Montreal Canadiens. It's all around the NHL. They recognize those people, and also it does the same thing for the people go to service, do army, everything. So this is the reason behind that the sport is unique, is good, is great, and once you used properly the right way, who care about Montembeau or what he does between the pipe at the end of the night or
Yeah,
the final score? The final scores at the end is about life. That is the most important thing. And the message they delivered yesterday and you did tonight is all about at the end for all of us. Could be not only say the people was there last night at the game, but also all of us. We all together here. Whatever is the challenge, the key is to be sure you cannot give up because life is short. Take advantage of everything.
precious.
So well said about that. People talk about Sako Koivu, and that on that one. So that's another one situation happening with Montreal a long time ago. So you want to add something before we move on?
No, I was just saying it's obviously a great platform. A lot of hockey players and athletes in general are have that platform in order to help either raise money to give a moment of pleasure to these kids, and I think that that's a wonderful thing to do. And I think it was also very classy that they involved the mentioning of the Utah players as well in their ceremonies, and they were part of that ceremony. So kudos to everybody involved in pulling that ceremony off for the kids going through this battle.
Jerry from Maryland is in the house. Welcome. Butch, knock the door. Change the name now. Butch, he cut the Bouchard out, Mr. Tap. So we have to change it. Anthony. I would call you number one, Mr. Tap, because Anthony had the Noene. So number one is in the house tonight. Welcome with us. Without talk about Sakoko Ivo, Marco, wow, good, Rudolph. The good story. RG continues. Guy is in the house. Welcome back. Thanks to be with us. And Sullivan Tuesday, Ben Veteran Day. I'm sure the Habs will dedicate them with a special ceremony. You're absolutely right about that. Great, well said. Also, Stan, the man. And if we did not mention your name, guys, don't forget, please, to click on the like. If you don't mind, that'd be great. Solely put things into perspective. PLW, we are absolutely about that. So, Mr. Tap, I tried to go to another direction for me because you mentioned that. So I will go with trust them. Not because I do not trust them. It's just like we're always a little bit more realistic, or I don't go with the vibe. I just say, okay, it's good. It's okay. It's not too bad. It's going to get that. But now I'm not sure about that. Oh, they get it again. And I think right now we have to trust them. And the reason behind the trust them, Mr. Tap, is the eclosion or the breakout of the front player for the Montreal Canadiens. Many game last night, after 5-7 minutes, Montembeau should be traded. Then after that, it was Villeneuve should be out. And then it's constantly negative, or many of them
Jack,
should be negative. So at the end of the day, my point tonight about my headline guy is trust them. Trust the process. Let them play and see what happening, whoever they have in the game. Now it's okay to be upset. It's okay to be, oh, look, the play right there. He missed the guy over there. It's okay. But when we try to put them out of the lineup and to do this, I heard like one said Martin St. Louis is the problem. He should be traded. They should be fired. I was like, wait a minute. That's not what it's all about. So trust the process, trust them. And remember, this is the youngest team in NHL. This is a team is rebuilding. They just speed everything faster, what was not expected, and they're looking good. And they have plus step up. We talk about Kirby Dak right now. We talk about Alex Newhook. They have a different thing happening with the team. And Martin Louis did a very good press conference yesterday. I wish I could tape it. I did not do it. He said, every year we work on different things. First year we work on this. Second year we work on certain other things. The third year we work on other things. He said the fourth year we work on other things. But he said every year, because we set up, we prepared already, we work on different things. Now we just have to twist something and then we are already back. So we have less to do compared like 4 years ago. So this is what we do every single day. So we improve slowly. Sometimes we don't see it yet. But he said the result of the game tonight, he said this because how we play Thursday night. That's pretty cool when he said that, because Thursday night they lost in the shootout, right? Or an overtime?
yeah,
An
yeah,
overtime, I
and
believe. So at the end of the
all the time.
day, he said, look, it was not a bad game against the Devils. We did not execute everything, but we knew before the game today what we need to do. He said, for me, all the task I have to do every day, now I don't have like 22. Maybe now I have only 9 to do. And it's going to be a little bit more easier after next every year. And we're getting close what we're supposed to be. So look, for me, is trust Martin Saint-Louis, trust the Montreal Canadiens with the 23 players they have. Right now, they have 21, but still, just let it go. And yes, it can be disagree. You can be, mentioned, but no need to trade anyone right now. No need to do this or do that or whatever it is. It is what we are. And Mr. Enortap, the roster, it will just get better and better and better. Marco Larabé he hit the nail like 2 years ago when he said evaluation, 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 plus the roster construction start. And then you can see that. And then the arrival at front player, the Lane Hudson, the Ivan Demidov. Now he makes some trade, Alex Carrier, Noah Dobson. And now it's not over yet. They're going to have more chance. Maybe a goaltender leave. Maybe another defenseman, two defensemen leave. Maybe 3 forwards will be out. Now during the time, you have other prospect pop up. Is it Rebecca, Zafreski, Edge, or any others? And we don't talk about trades. So for me, trust them and trust the process and just enjoy, Mr. Enortap, because right now we are what? 9-3-2. This is fantastic. And why we try to fix, looking for les. En français, on dit des petits bobos. On cherche toujours des petits bobos contre l'équipe des Canadiens de Montréal, le tricolore, le bleu, blanc, rouge, M. Enortap. C'est pas correct de faire ça. On devrait être positif, M. Enortap, parce que les Canadiens, présentement, sont en première position, M. Enortap. Et là, je dois vous dire une chose, M. Enortap. C'est à cause de quoi, M. Enortap?
Bleu, blanc, rouge, le Canadien, c'est dans notre sang, dans nos cœurs, notre tradition, notre honneur. Le Canadien, c'est tout, c'est une partie de nous. Bleu, blanc, rouge, le Canadien, c'est une partie de nous.
Et voilà, M. Enortap, ça fait partie de nous, M. Enortap, and that's the reason we should be happy about everything, M. Enortap. And Mark said, not 9-3-2, we are 10-3-2, M. Enortap. You're absolutely right about this.
Yes,
so
yes,
we enjoyed that one. It's great to see that. Hurricanes score, M. Enortap, 4-3 right now again at Toronto. 3-2, Sénateur Mammouth, les Mammouths. 2-1 Dallas Kraken, 0-0 the Flame and the Wild after one period. A little bit later, Canucks visit the Avalanche, the Jets. Good game at 10 o'clock, Mr. Enortap. Jets, this is Dallas.
Game, yeah.
So,
Coach, you're absolutely right. I think I've always maintained this. It's about patience, and seeing the process through. It's about creating, and this is what they did right from the beginning. And to me, this made the most sense. They started from the top down, and now they're just in the construction phase, and they still have to clear out some contracts eventually. You said that there's going to be changes. Absolutely, there will be. We'll see new faces come. Who knows? This year, maybe next year, as well. That will augment this learning continuum for them. But even if they make a couple of mistakes along the way, I think that we should have that confidence in what they're building, and we're starting to finally see some of the fruits that are coming out.
You're absolutely about that. François Pitt knocked the door. Welcome back. You're right about this, Mark. PL, not a goalie duel. Kane versus Miller. Oof, goaltending is terrible. So far, François said, are you entertained? Yes, we are. If not, I'm doing this, me, here at the Hockey Nation, Mr. Enortap. I'm entertaining everyone. Ovisio is in the house. Unbelievable. Ab start. You're absolutely about that. I love it. Mr. Enortap, we're going to go to the game for the Montreal Canadiens. So let's see what we got for everyone. Don't go nowhere, Mr. Enortap. Time to talk about the Montreal. Before that, Habs in. Do you think Veneno will stay with the Habs, Mr. Enortap? Can you answer that one?
Of course. I think that they kept him for obvious reasons. I think he's got the versatility that he can fill in at different spots. Now, I get it. Some people are not happy with the progress so far, but I mean, if you take a deep dive into the stats there, it's really not that bad. And I think that he does offer some form of leadership as well to the team. I think that his face-off could use a little bit more improving. He's capable of better than what he's shown, but um, I think it's a good pickup. Will he be there beyond this year? I mean, who knows, right? It all depends on how quickly our prospects progress and develop. It depends on whether there's going to be any trades or free agents coming in. We all know he's probably not part of the long-term haul here for Montreal, but he's a stop plug right now for them to fill out a useful role on this team.
Great point about that. Michael Wellen is in the house. Welcome back. Thanks for the question, Mr. Habs Zin 727. By the way, we'll just let you know we are old people. We're not here every month, but when you read 5 times, we can read your question one time. Then Mr. Enortap, you can get it very well about that. We love you, my friend. Gary Connoy, lock the door. Welcome back, Gary Connoy. And everybody else, thanks to be with us. So we have another question from Rudolph. Rudolph is smart, Mr. Enortap. He's always thinking about deep stuff, Mr. Enortap. Mr. Radal, he said, I'll be dead on the top of your head, Mr. Enortap. Here's the play of Tobash, our biggest story, or Suzuki, or Kirby Doc. What is the biggest story this season, Mr. Enortap?
I'm going to say all of the above. I think they're all parts to the success that we're seeing so far. I think Tobash has been a great story in a season where Monty has not been at his best as of yet. Suzuki, I think, is definitely cemented himself as a number 1 center in the league. And who was the other player? Let me just read here. Oh, Doc. Yeah, Doc. The key has always been, can this guy stay healthy? Because when he does, I'm liking what I'm seeing from him. He's skating well. He's taking the puck to the net. He made a beautiful move on that breakaway pass that he received yesterday to score. But it's not just the point production per se, because, I mean, he's got the 5 goals and I think 2 or 3 assists this year. But I like the fact that it looks like he has a little bit more speed to his game. It looks like he's not as tentative to get into tough spots. So that's what you need. And if you can use him as a winger, I think that's where he's best utilized.
Great point about that. I'm not sure you have a biggest story. I think you have many stories about that. Not only one specific thing. Marco talked about the fact Dobson played with Madison is one of them. I think for me, Caufield, 12 goal right now, 50 game. He's on the pace for 65 goals. That's something for me. It's really higher what my expectation was. But yes, it's fun story. You can mention that too. Yeah, great question, by the way, for sure. Consider about question is that where do you see Patrick Laine with his future in Montreal?
Unfortunately, I don't see it in Montreal. Again, that's just my personal opinion. I think that Montreal will fill in the spots that they have in other fashions. It's nothing against the player. It's just the fact that right now he's. I mean, obviously he's hurt right now, but even when he was playing, he wasn't. He was being bounced around between different lines, and he sort of didn't fit a particular role on the team. And especially with some of the talent that we've augmented the team with this year, he wasn't on the power play 1 anymore. And so it's hard if you can't fit him in a particular spot. Then as great as the player could be in terms of a person, if he doesn't fit, it's a business at the end of the day, and you have to fit the pieces that fit best together in order to accomplish what your goal is. And I don't see it with Montreal, unfortunately, for him.
McBain just scored a goal, guys, like if he was sitting in the canoe and he just pushed the puck, Mr. Enortap. So it's pretty cool to see that. That's a great question. A lot of people knock the door, guys. SLG is in the house. Welcome back. We have other people. Lenny Square, big for around all for roll all about that. Luc
That's
Fortin
right.
knock the door. Welcome back. Maurice Robillard, welcome back also. Thanks everybody. Don't forget please to click on the like. We appreciate that. Great comments. Trent story about Sventing. Of course, I think Claude Richard did a question. I apologize, Claude. If you can tell me again the questions, we can answer to you. And Abs Zin, we're just joking with you. It was not like we just have a good time. So don't worry about that. He said, I'm sorry, but don't worry. It was just a joke about this one. So don't worry about that. Mr. Enortap, football 3-2, the score.
Oh, CFL. Okay.
Yeah, 3-2. About that. Garrett said he was going to meet you in Winnipeg for the final score. So hopefully you and you have the time with Dan. I'm going to organize everything with Dan. Dan's going to be helping. Cadette, she'll be at the booth upstairs.
Of course.
Maybe
She's going to be great.
She will set up all the hot dog for you guys or coffee on the site with the Center Tap. So we're going to see what happening there about that. So we're going to go to the game, guys. Any question? We stop and we answer to your question. For that, I think Butch have another question, but I think we just did it on that one. Talk about Patrick Laney, so I think it was a good one right there. I like it comment, so pick it up. Don't forget, please, to click on the like if you don't mind. That'd be good. 3-3 right now. Mammoth, Senator, Mr. 4-3. Toronto again. The Carolina Hurricanes. Again, yeah, the Carolina Hurricanes. Joseph knocked the door. Hurricane missed 4 breakaway, by the way, from what we heard after 40 minutes. I'm watching right now, guys, Ottawa, so I'm not there yet, honestly. So that time to talk about the Montreal Canadiens, and meanwhile, we're going to talk about one thing here. Let me pick up the graphic. If you don't mind, you have too many things I have to set up at the same time. But we're going to get there. Don't worry about that, Mr. Tap. Before we go there, we always play that introduction. Mr. Tap, introduction of the Montreal Canadiens. Challenge in Ottawa right now. Well, challenge, again, challenge usually is Danny T is in charge. Well, maybe a new goaltender between the pipe also. And we'll see what happening there. Okay, Mr. Tap, 6-2. I'm going to give you some highlights of the game. Then you can tell us what you think about that game for the people in the chat. First of all, Caufield scored 2 goals yesterday. Is 11-12 of the season. And then we have no goal, Mr. Tap, for any reason. First in NHL with McKinnon, guys, for the most goal, following by Oliver Kapanen. What a story for Hollywood Kapanen. 1 goal, 1 assist. That gave him 2 points yesterday. 10 points this season. Lead with the most goal as a rookie. New Hook, 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points, 12 points, Mr. Tap. For New Hook, maybe beat his record at the end of December, and we have to see that on this one. We have an injury right now for the Utah. Have a collision in front of the net. It's confusing right now, Mr. Tap, what's going on the ice right now from Utah. Simashev is right now and hurt. Dak, guys. 1 goal, 4 goals in the last 3 games, Mr. Could be that, Mr. Enortap. Then Suzuki, 1 goal, 4 of the season, 20 points right now. And that's looking good about that. What a great save by the goaltender, by the way, from Ottawa Senator for this one. So we have to give that crazy for sure. Here, what my comments are, and then you can add your comments. I'm not going to go deep. After that, I'm going to go with you. Best game of the season for the Montreal Canadiens since Detroit Red Wings, in my opinion. Keep the lead. That's rare, but it's happening. Huge third period. That's true. Montebo has been good, and that's what we're looking for. We don't ask him to steal the game, but we just asked him to be good, and he did it. His job. Killer goal. We talk about this all the time, and he did it. happening yesterday in Montreal with 5 goals back to back, 3 in the third period. Martin St-Louis balanced his line on the TOI. Most of them, nobody play over 20 minutes. And then finally, guys, when we talk about the third pairing defenseman, we talk about the fifth or sixth defenseman for the team. We talk about the four line for any team. We want them to play good. We don't ask them to do more, just to be sure they do the right things. And that's happening with Trouble and Jekai yesterday. And they did their game for that one. For that, Marco, I have a question for you. For those who thought that Ab should have drafted Coley instead of Sakeski, feel better after last night, Mr. Enortap.
Well, it's just one game. I always felt good with the selection of Slavkovsky. In my opinion, I think he's slowly coming into his own, and he's starting to show the value for that team. Like, he used to be a passenger on that line, coach, and I think now he's starting to become a driver of that line. If you know what I mean, like, he's digging out pucks. I mean, his shot still needs a little bit of improvement. I think I see personally a maturity in him that I haven't seen in the last couple of years. He seems much more confident. He's if he gets in front of the net a little bit more often, I think that the productivity will come as well. Like, there's no question, Cooley is a great hockey player, but let's think of the reason why we think Montreal went for Slavkovsky. And it's not just necessarily the size, although that's a definite plus, especially come playoff time. It's the fact that he can bring a completion to that first line that makes it one of the best lines in the NHL. And uh, as good as Cooley is, it remains to be seen just how he'll perform come playoff time, simply because of size. And and sometimes when the game is a little bit tougher,
Yeah, I'm sorry about
those
that.
kind of
Great
players
comments
tend,
about this.
tend
We
to
have
disappear.
Louis in the house. Welcome, Louis. We have 8-2 knock the door and 26 knock the door. Thanks for all the people. PLW talk about Steph Zila. Everything like that. I'm going to talk a little bit more after that, Mr. Tap, about this. I think it's a good question for that one. 8-2 said Slav still a work in progress. And 26, he said
Absolutely.
no. Chekai is starting to throw his weight around. Last game, it's about time. Sakeski is on the pace for 50 points. Again, need to more productive for him. I don't think that way for
Why?
me for Sakeski. I think if he complete the two other players, Marcel Tap, this is what I'm looking for. And it's difficult to find a 6'3 players, 230 pounds, and play like he's doing right now. Again, he's not at his peak yet. It's just the beginning. He's only 21 years old. So when he's going to be 22, 23, 24, he's just going to get better and better and better. So for me, he is the perfect complementary for the Montreal Canadiens. I have a question a bit later. We're going to wait. But do you select Sakarski or you select another players at the NHL draft 2022? So I don't want to get there for that one, for this, on this one.
Yeah, it's not
26
always,
said
coach.
it
It's not
was
a,
the wrong player to draft then. I
no.
disagree
I
with that.
disagree. I disagree as well. Like, you have to look at it from the perspective of what is it that they bring to a particular team, and that's what it is. Like, a lot of times they'll say, "Well, okay, I'll pick the best athlete." That's fine and dandy, and that should, for the most part, be your modus operandi. But for Montreal, it's a process of saying, we have somebody that has size, somebody that will continue. I think he will have a large ceiling to his productivity eventually. And like I said, I think now he's helping to drive that line and not just be a passenger on it.
You're absolutely about that. I agree with you. So I give you a little bit more the game. Give us a little bit your statement about your assessment about the game yesterday, and the people that show you can tell us also that assessment.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah, I think you hit on a lot of key points there, especially in the second segment you have up there. I'm not sure I would classify it as the best game of the season for Montreal, but it was definitely one of the top games. I like the fact that they were able to maintain the lead once they came back from the 2-1 deficit. They scored a couple goals in the second, sort of went into the third, and sort of dominated the third period in my eyes, and could have had a few other goals if for a little bit better luck. I thought defensively, as a group of six, they were all solid. I was particularly pleased with the Jacky and Strubo pair work that they had. They had, I think Jacky had somewhere around 14 minutes, and Strubo, I think, was around 17, if I'm not mistaken. And
I
that's
think
all you
Swabot
want,
is
right?
at 14, and then Jacky 10 minutes.
I don't think so. I think I
No?
think I think it's I think Jacky had more. I think he had 14, and I think Struble had about 16 or 17 minutes,
Okay.
but they were solid minutes. Like, they didn't make a lot of mistakes, if any. I thought that they were solid in terms of taking their man out of the play. Now, let's keep in mind also that one thing that became blatantly noticeable with Utah yesterday is that they're a team that physically can be pushed around. And I think Montreal in the third period sort of took advantage of that. And if that's one thing I think Utah needs to address before they can entertain making the playoffs, that's one area I think that they have to get a little bit of size and sandpaper into their lineup as well. But I thought, a bit of a rough start for Monty. We can get into it. Was it his fault? Was it not his fault? Was it turnovers? Whatever the case might be. But when they needed it, Monty turned up, and he made a couple of excellent saves in the second period, and especially in the third, beautiful glove save midway through the third that really just sort of solidified the win for them. And they didn't take the foot off the pedal. I thought Montreal pushed the issue all night long, a lot of stretch passes. I thought structurally they were good, and coach, they took away the transition game of Utah, right? Like, they clogged up the center ice and did not allow them to dictate the play to them. So overall, I thought it was a very good game, and something to definitely build off of moving forward.
You're absolutely about that, for sure. For the Montreal Canadiens, anything you want to add more?
No, I mean, for me, that's about it. I like the fact that we have I think 8 now or 9 players that are in double digits point wise. So what we're seeing, it's not necessarily productivity out of that first line only, right? There's secondary scoring happening, coach, and that's what you need, because one particular line cannot carry you all year long, especially when you're going to be facing probably the best defenders of the opposition on a day in and day out basis. So you need other players to step up, and we've seen that in guys like obviously Demidov and Newhook and Doc lately, and of course Kapanen. And from the defense end, we're still, I think, if I'm not mistaken, one of the top scoring defensive core in the league, and you need that, right? Like, you need Dobson, Hudson, Matheson to continue to offensively impose their will and join the rush from time to time, responsibly, of course, but to offer assistance. And I think that those are all things that Marty is trying to implement, and so far, not a bad job.
Yeah, great comments about that. I appreciate that. Look, this is going to be very interesting. What's next coming for the Montreal Canadiens? But I think for me was the best game of the season, from the beginning to the end. Um, yeah, but always couple of moments, it's difficult because you have a change, everything like that. But I think the effort was there. Um, I see maturity in the game yesterday, Mr. Enortap. When I see maturity, um, I believe the best team in NHL, it's fun. It's fun. Best team in NHL are patient. They wait for opportunities. They wait when they get an opportunity to do it, and they capitalize on the mistake from opponent team. Yesterday, Utah, I think for me they beat themselves during the game. At least 3 times they gave the puck, and that's Montreal
Turnovers.
capitalized on that, on those, I would say, the mistake example at the bench at the third period, miscommunication on the defensive zone, and then a pinch at the blue line when the Kapanen bring the puck, and Demidov let it go, and then New Hook. What a great move by New Hook also. So at the end of the day, I think Montreal play a solid game overall, and I like the fact that we have positivities from different players, not only one or two, not only the first line. I think the last couple of games we got the secondary goal from other players like Nuho, Kapanen, and Demidov and Doc, and that's good for the Montreal Canadiens. I thought it was going to be a bit more positive, Louis, about Villano, about that. I wait a little bit, guys, to talk about Villano, and I'm going to jump in on that one sometime. Then we can move on with everything in the chat. Um, um, and I think that reflects also the question of Claude. Let's see what we got here, Mr. Enortap. Claude Richard, Claude Richard, Claude Richard, Claude Richard, Mr. Enortap. I said I'm going to answer to him. I asked him to say it twice to us on that one. Tony, the Mark is in the house. Welcome in the house. Sometimes, guys, we miss you in the chat, so I apologize for if we don't mention your name. The Montreal are there real? He asked you if the Montreal are real, Mr. Enortap.
Well, they're as real as the as what we're seeing. Like I know there's arguments that have been made. Well, they haven't played any real top-notch teams yet, but you know what? Don't worry about that. They're building on the youth here. They're building on the fact that they have the right environment that they're in, climate that they're producing, and you can only do what's in front of you, and that is beat the team that you're facing that particular evening, and they're doing that job. Like if they were losing these games, then we could obviously cry a river and say, well, what's going to happen when we play the tougher teams? But if they win these and the confidence continues to grow, the development continues, the second line now is looking a little bit more decent, right? Like they're still actively looking for a 2C in my eyes, but I think that the urgency to go get one isn't as much as it was at the beginning of the year. So when you put all that together, of course, I like what I'm seeing, and hopefully it will continue.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. The reason we talk about Villano, I was going to finish my point of view. For me, Villano is a 12 forward. Every team in NHL have a 12 forward, a 13 forward.
13.
And I think sometimes we think, oh, those kind of players should produce. If they should not produce, guys, it's just normal. You have always 1, 2, 3 players in the U team. It's going to be not at the same level like the rest of the team. So what we want them to do is to be sure they don't make any damage when he put the team in the trouble, everything like that. The name could be Villano before it was Pesada, and before it was another name. And next year is going to be another players to go to play that role for the Montreal Canadiens, and that's part of the process of the transition for the Montreal Canadiens. So for me, it's not big deal. Joe Villano and question the chat or they talk about this. Me, I will bring Jared Davidson. That's a comment of someone in the chat, not me. I think it was Gary Conroy. Would you bring Jared Davidson or any other forward from the Laval Rocket?
Coach, you have to ask yourself the question: is Veleno hurting you right now?
Is what?
Is Veleno hurting you right now
No,
when he
not
plays?
and overall he make two mistakes,
Right.
I believe, a couple of games ago. But
Yeah.
that's part of the team, right? This is part of the
Exactly.
everybody make mistake, right? It's one. It was really bad. He make a turnover, but this after he create a turnover, the blind Mr. Time, you have 3 more other players on the ice. He plays the goaltender, so they have the not. You know what I mean? Like you can create a turnover
Exactly.
at the goal line to put in team, and then all the way back he scores. It's but it is what it is.
And as a 13th forward, I mean, as you were pointing out earlier, I think that there's nothing. The expectations are minimal, right? I think Veleno's putting a lot of pressure on himself because at the beginning of the year, he sort of said, I've been in constant conditioning all year long. I feel excited about this new prospect of being with Montreal, and I feel like I'm gonna produce. And so with that come our expectations that we should be seeing more out of him. Whereas I feel like as long as he's being defensively sound and responsible, and he's helping to kill penalties, he's also winning faceoffs. I think that that's critical for possession of the game purposes. When he comes in as the 13th forward, there's nothing wrong with that. It's when we make our expectations a little bit too high that these problems come in and the emotions set in.
You're great about that. I agree with you, Mr. Enortap. Football, NFL's 5-3, Mr. Enortap. So, Patrick
Hockey
Gagné, nouveau subscriber. Guys, we take one at a time. Thank you.
Welcome, Patrick. Welcome.
Mr. Enortap, there's two out obscure office players for that game between the Utah and the Montreal Canadiens.
Wow. I mean, when it comes to stood out coach, there's quite a few you could sort of go with. I'm going to go personally with Alex Newhook. I think he had 2 points and a couple posts as well. His speed was evident all evening long. I think he was a +3 on the ice when he played. He won just over 50% of his faceoffs that he took, which, if we consider where he was last year and the year before to get to this stage, and it's not just this game, he's been doing it consistently since the beginning of the year. I mean, that's yet another accomplishment in his back pocket. He played over 15 minutes and even had 2 hits from a not so big and truculent player. So I think that I like not just last night, but I like the this year so far, how he's been taking the play and really added to that. He's balanced, 6 goals, 6 assists. With a little bit of luck, he could have had more. So he's my stood out. Obscure. I could go with Samuel Multibo, but I won't. I'm going to leave that out, and I'll clarify that why not later. I'll go with Arbor Jack-Eye for yesterday, because I think a lot of times he takes a lot of heat for things that go wrong with the team, and sometimes it's justified, sometimes I don't think it is. But yesterday he was a +2 on the ice for the whole night. He had 4 or 5 hits. He had 14 minutes of play in the game. He's maturing. You can see he's maturing as an NHL defenseman. And a lot of that is due to the work of Marty St. Louis, right? Like, I think that that's exactly what he wants him to be. He doesn't want him to just go out there and take on the odd fight here and there, because as a defenseman, it puts the rest of your core at a deficit. If a defenseman has to go and serve a 5-minute penalty or sometimes even a misconduct that might go hand in hand with that. But yesterday he had the right reads all night long, and he didn't really get caught flat-footed on the wrong side of the puck at any point that I saw. And his physical play was also there. So I'm going to give the obscure to Arbor Jack-Eye. And to the office, I'm sorry, but I'm going to send Josh Anderson there. I thought that for a guy that not only was -1 for the evening, I don't think that that's really the big thing. I mean, he's one of the bigger players, leaders. He only had 1 hit all evening, a couple of giveaways. And really, to me, the biggest disappointment was the fact that he argued that penalty with the referee while the play was still in motion. I think it definitely was an interference penalty that should have been called on Utah, but that's not the point here. The point is the play is still alive, and you're taking yourself out of the play and creating a 5-on-4 because you're busy talking to the referee and trying to argue why wasn't that penalty called. And I think from somebody that has his leadership and his experience, he should be coaching a lot of the younger players to play in a more mature and responsible fashion. So they turn around, and I think it was Lawson Cruz comes and scores off of that play. So just to give him a quick reminder and a bit of a shake of the head and say, hey, let's get our act together, because you know and we know that you can do better. You showed it to us last year, and so far it's nowhere to be seen. So let's get this back on the tracks, Josh.
Enortap, when we play that song usually?
The last 5 minutes of the game.
As the last beer of Patrick Le PLW in the fridge right now.
It's the last beer.
He's on the final countdown, Mr. Enortap. I know. He don't know what to do. He said, hurry up, guys. We need to go to bed now. Everything. So
Uber drinks.
I think it was a good time to set that. Frankie Mahavlich and Mr. Barry is in the house from Minnesota, Apache Junction in Arizona. Stood out, Caufield, obscure. And you hook obscure Kapanen, Office Anderson. So it's very pretty similar at what the people talk. Garrett and Antoine have a great conversation. Louis is going to be up and down as far as constancy come. Playoff is going to be turned up to 10. Hopefully, we're going to get there. 4-4 is on top. The Hurricanes score. About that one, you're welcome, Claude. On that one, I would say to you, Mr. Enortap stood out. I go with Cole Caufield on that one. I think for me, that's good. And by the way, Mr. Enortap, there you go. Now I thought I see something else, but it's not good. I said to you, Caufield might stood out. My obscure Mr. Enortap, I go with Noah Thompson. I think Mike Minnesota for the first time have not a bad game, but not his constancy game. He's struggling, bubble with the puck, turn over the puck, create some turnover. And Noah Thompson was there most of the time to fix the mistake of Madison yesterday. And I think for me, it's obscure. He had 1 assist yesterday. I think for some biggest season, Mr. Enortap, this may be my best revelation for the Montreal Canadiens. We're going to talk about this later, but I think for the other office, I have the same player like you, Josh Anderson. Remember, like 2 years ago, Anderson was struggling, like he could not score the goal. He took him all the way. I think his first goal was an empty net, I believe, if I can recall it. Last year, it was a transformation player. He was he was an inspiration for his teammates, in my opinion.
That's right.
Last year, played most of the time, I could be wrong here, with Christian Dvorak and Gallagher, if I remember that one.
Or with Evans.
Evans was played with Amia and Pesada and the rest of the people.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was Anderson, Dvorak, and Gallagher together, lining with Doc, New Hook, and on that line. So I think for me, Anderson right now is maybe no chemistry and maybe hurt him. But again, like you mentioned, no doubt in my mind, he cannot give up on the play and everything like that. But I just want to remind you on that play, Mr. Enortap, it was also a very bad play by the change of the Montreal Canadiens. I believe that's the same goal we talk about, right?
Yeah.
Like I think Jacky showed up late on that play because Carrier and
the whole line. Yeah, the whole line was changing.
Yeah, but turnover down the park deep in the zone, a great pass. Anyway, short story was that PLW go with Jake Evans for him on that one. So that gave us a bit Marco Anderson frustration over complaining to the ref. He started like last week, I think, also, and that just accumulate right now. So I think that's happening right there.
Yeah,
so I'm going to go. That. Yeah, I'm going to go the review of the week for the Montreal Canadiens, if you don't mind, everybody. Review of the week, guys. 4 points for Montreal. 1 win, 2 loss, and 1 in overtime, 1 in shootout. Score 13 goals, guys. 4.33 for the week again, over 3.75. 11 goals again. They're a bit too high, 3.66. But he finished the work the week with +2 on the goal differential. The power play 20%. Back normal a bit. The PK, I'm impressed by that, 84.6. And the face-off is on top, 55.4. Again, we're missing Dvorak, but the Montreal find a way to get there. The Wild take the lead, guys, 1-0 right now. Again, the Flames. Overall, Montreal Canadiens on top, goal for 57, 3.80. That's about 296 goals this season. They are third in NHL. Goal again, 46. They are 14 with 3.07. They increased a little bit. The goal differential plus 11 for Montreal. This is pretty good. And then the power play, 27.9. That's great. Fifth in overall. 78.9, 16. Last year was 80 something, so they're getting close what it's supposed to be. And the first off for me is the stat where I'm really impressed. 51.9 on top, 11 in NHL. With Devarek gone, where Devarek was very good. You have Evans, we knew that. We have Suzuki, but now we relate on the Newhook, Doc, and Kapanen, and all three have the best stat on the face-offs. I know they lose a couple of face-off at a bad time, but at the end of the day, I'm really impressed for that one. So if you look about those numbers, what make you a little bit more excited about that?
Well, the fact I think we've been mentioning it all year long, and Marco's made a point of it as well. It's the fact that you're looking at your goals for, and it's above the expectation that we had. Goals against, they're working on it, and they're right at the barrier of where I think it should be. Most importantly, the goal differential, right? That means a lot. Like, not too many teams get into the playoffs, with the exception of maybe Washington a couple years ago, with a negative goal differential. You have to have that number on the positive side. And again, you look at for the season, their power play and their penalty kill, you add them up and you get to that magical 100 to 105% range, which is exactly where you want it to be. Like, the penalty kill, I think, still will improve as the pieces fit a little bit better together and they're more constant throughout the year. And the face-offs, extremely important. I've been on this bandwagon for I don't know how long, but you win the face-off, you have possession. You're dictating the play. You're not chasing the play for the rest of the game. So far, they're all good signs. Good signs.
Great point about that for sure. Nick Suzuki, 2 goals this week, 2 points. New Hook, we go to talk about the stat of the week for the Montreal Canadiens. New Hook, 3 points, 1 goal, 2 assists. Caufield, 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points. Dobson, 4 assists, 4 points. Kirby Dak, 4 goals, 4 points. Demidov, 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 points. Kapanen, 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points. We missed a couple of players with 2 points this week. One of them is Lane Hudson. But when you look about those stats, Mr. Enortap, you have different things going on with the Montreal Canadiens. It's not only one players. Different players step up. There are more players with producers, offensive for the Montreal Canadiens. And that will bring you guys on that one for the note of the Montreal Canadiens this week. Listen, guys, Montreal are 15-1-3. Send the Four Nation. That was reported by A2 during the night, during the game last night. Great to sharing with us. Cole Caufield, guy, is a number 1 with the most goals in NHL. Going to talk about Cole Caufield after the subject. Demidov is the first one rookie with the most points in the NHL this season. Kapanen lead the most goals for the rookie this season. Have a 5 scorer, Mr. Enortap, with 5 goals a plus. That's mean with 15 games, Mr. Enortap, I calculate, we could have a 5 scorer, Mr. Enortap, of 25 goals a plus for the Montreal Canadiens. That said, we have 3 more players with 4 goals. Budzik, example, is one of them, right?
Suzuki.
Suzuki is another one of them. Them that carry on over 20 goals also. We could have, Mr. Enortap, 8 scorer of 20 goals for this season and with the team. This is a lot of goals. We'll see if this happening there. But I just want to share it with you. That stat, I think that's pretty cool. 2 players have 1 point per game right now. Caufield and Suzuki. So they could have 82 points at the end of the year. We have many defensemen have many points. Dobson, Hudson, Madison. We have a total of 45 points for all the core for the defensemen. We are number 1 in NHL. And we just see the best number around the Montreal Canadiens this season where I cannot recall it, guys, when this happening the last time. Like, I I don't know. Like those kind of
I think you got
offensive we have this year, uh, it's not happened a lot, Mr. Antap.
no, it hasn't. I mean, there were the odd year in the early 2000s, but I think for the most part, we have to look back to the 70s and early 80s sometimes for that kind of productivity, especially from our back end, right, defensively. So that's good that we're starting to see that now.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Thanks, everybody. Don't forget, please, to click on the like. If you don't mind, that'd be good. That we do a show every Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. when we don't do live stream play-by-play. So I agree with you about this. This is a lot of great number. This is a lot of positive news for the Montreal Canadiens. And it's for the first time we don't talk about the goaltending situation. So that's pretty cool to see what's going on there. We have a couple of comments here. Louis, Ab defenseman, 45 points, amazing. Marco predicts 6 scorer or 20 goals. Wait until Zarovsky, Mr. Tap, show up. Interesting. If Sheffer reached 60 points, he would win the Calder. Last time, an 18 years old rookie did it. It was over 40 years ago. Defenseman point above Colorado defenseman point. Wow, I miss awesome. Right now, because Garrett, remember, they have McCarr, but Taze have a really bad year so far. Now, when I said bad year, I'm talking about number of points. I think he's only at 4 points. And then you have Brad Burns. Then you have Girard is out. So the offensive guys, the Canada came right now all over the Toronto right now.
Toronto Maple Leafs, yeah.
Toronto Maple Leafs, 6-2, Harry.
Where
Guy, Gary agreed too early. I have a guy coming to clean up my driveway, I believe. For that one, I tried to pick up Gary not so long ago. We were desperate for a 30 goal scorer. We could have scored several 30 goal scorer. Gary.
Not this year.
And November, Mr. That was the first subject we talk about.
In November. I don't
the last
know.
couple of years, what was talking about when we come at the show?
Oh, we need scoring, right? Secondary scoring.
No, Mr. Antap. I thought you were going to get that one.
Oh no! What is it?
What was looking? Who is going to be the first overall pick for the upcoming NHL draft, Mr. Antap? We were looking already. We do the tackathon, the whatever they call it, Mr. Antap. We try to figure out what is going to be first, second, third, fourth, and five. And we talk about City Briné, we talk about Bedard, we talk about Sikorsky, we talk about Wright.
Okay, yeah.
Now, November was the first conversation in that chat. The only way we gave some excitement, it was talking about, or maybe get the lottery, Mr. Antap. Maybe we win the lottery at the end. And but not this year, Mr. Antap. This is over.
Last year. Last year, not so much. But you're right. The previous years, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it would be fun. Marco said about the draft in November. You're right. On this one. So that's happened, Mr. Tap. A little bit on overview for Montreal Canadiens. Before we talk about NHL, I want to bring you back here because, like you said, and like you know, you can see right now, I'm excited because OE2 talk about him. I want to talk about Montreal, the prospect, and the Montreal, the Laval Rocket happening. Today, the Laval Rocket are they won today 3-2. Again, that's gave them 8-4, I believe now, with the 2W they got only weekend. Davidson scored a 9 goal. For me, Davidson, Engstrom are the two players right now are looking good with the Laval Rocket.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. I mean, Engstrom, we saw it here in camp. I thought that he could have easily, if the spot was there, he could have easily made the team. Davidson has been consistent. He's been consistent since about a year and a half ago, moving forward. I like what he brings to the game. And this year, he's getting the productivity as well.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Look, can he call up Davidson for one game? Who knows? Davidson, the only thing is his skating. When you evaluate him, you do a scout report, But I think sometimes bring some kind of energy inside the team or something. But right now they are winning. So why to remove Joe Veleno to put someone, and what's to be the purpose behind? If they were losing and they feel bad, or they figure out something else, maybe. But I think right now I don't see the necessity, because Montreal combined looking good with 10-3-2 since the beginning of the season. So I think for me that's not necessary. Mr. Roger Delaney is in the house. Welcome back. Thanks to be with our Canadian Live Show. Appreciate a lot. A lot of great comment for SLG, by the way. And of course, Roger Delaney, like he said, is in the house. We have, do you think New York can keep up his productivity, Mr. Tap?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, once you have that speed, and I think this year his shooting percentage is much improved. I mean, if he had a little bit of lucky, I think he's had like 4 or 5 goal posts or crossbars this year as it is, and he makes himself a threat offensively. And he's been for the most part very responsible defensively as well. So can he keep it up? Absolutely, absolutely, he can. As a matter of fact, Coach, I would say at one point, if you recall, many of us were thinking maybe that was a mistake, the way that we gave up 2 first-round picks to get Newhook. If we revisit it now, and I know it's still early, but if we revisit it now in terms of what those picks turned out to be and what Newhook is turning the corner and looking like now, maybe it wasn't such a bad deal.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I agree with you for that statement, for sure. Look, Montreal Canadiens, other like Rocket win this weekend. I said Fowler have a good weekend too with Laval, and Adam Exum, good one. David Rebecca have a pretty good so far. I'm not going to wait too much about Rebecca. I think he should be Laval for at least the full year if we need it. I think will be good. I think for Neil guys, 40 season point. I think that'll be good for him. If you get more, that'd be good. But I think it will be that, because the way they use him right now, I don't see that would drop a lot, Mr. Tap, about that situation. So we'll see. Not 2 first-round pick. It was a first-round pick,
Yeah.
a second right. Yeah, right. It was the 31st
It
guy
was
and
the
the
top.
37.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that was
that's
the
right.
2 pick, and they select.
Yeah,
They
I
not
forget
select.
now who it was, but I read it the other day.
It was not the
I
goaltender Herbal.
No, I don't think so. I mean, you could be right, but
They
I,
select a
I don't think it
goaltender.
was
They select a defenseman for sure. It was the
a
right
defenseman.
defenseman
Yeah,
for that one over there.
yeah.
But I cannot remember the second players about that. I'm going to give it to you, Mr. Tap, in the next 10 seconds, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Let me get that one here. Trade for the Colorado for the Montreal Canadiens, first round pick and the second round pick. And we forgot, Mr. Tap, Giovanni Fairbrother,
Fairbrother, Johnny.
right? I
Yeah,
never make it, honestly. Honestly, for that one over there.
exactly.
And
So
I'm
not
sorry.
bad. Not bad. It's not bad. Like revisiting it now and again, I throw caution to it because it's still very early, but it's not looking like a bad trade after all.
You're absolutely right. And they trade the pick number 37, Mr. Tap. And that pick, I
37.
believe, they select Herbal.
Maybe you're right. Yeah, yeah. I
And the
think the
player they
goalie.
select
Yeah,
as the defenseman guy is Mikhail Kuvaliev at the pick number
right.
31. So I don't have right now Herbal in front of me, but I would be not be
He's
not be
stolen one.
surprised on that one. New York must lead the NHL on the gold pass this year. It could have more. I agree with point about this one. Marco Darby, round pick 2023, entry 27, Callum Ritchie 23, entry, Mikhail Kuliev on that one.
Hmm.
Hurricane just scored a goal, guys. It's 5-4, I believe now.
Wow.
Stankoven score on that one, Mr. Tap. Now,
Nice.
Mr. Tap, we talk about
Have a moment,
prospect.
Mike.
Michael Edge, great game Friday night. 2 goals. He scored yesterday, but it was under review. They canceled the goal. Logan Sawyer, 2 goals, 1 assist Friday night. Very good performance for Logan. Maybe only two, for Logan, only 2 goals. You have Harris scored a goal. Great performance again for the weekend for the goaltender Quentin Miller, looking great between the pipe. Couple of goaltender Cotto have a good one yesterday too. They have another players. Vincent Rover is looking great, Mr. Enortap, with 2 goals, 1 assist. He had 4 goals, 2 assists this week with his team. So Rover is a little bit hot, but the subject of the night, Mr. Enortap, is this man. Uh, Zarovsky. Now they play at the tournament U20, and the 3 versus 3. Look about this goal, Mr. Tap. You talk about une tasse de café en français, a yellow cone. Right there, Mr. Zarovsky, guys, on the back end top shell, and that gave the goal for him. Scored 2 goals yesterday. This is the guy, guys. Look about this. He's coming up. Here we go. Zip. It's coming out. Zip, zip, come back, zip, and rip the puck, Mr. Enortap. Goal for Zarovsky. Second goal of the game for him. And this is going to be, Mr. Enortap, the big subject next season for the Montreal Canadiens. It's going to be his final year at the KHL next year. And this is his 2 goal. This one, pick up the puck behind the net on the power play, bring the puck in front of the net, zim, and the net again. This was his assist behind the net. Look, his vision. He see everything right there. Great pass right there. And the goal from the inside for Kolakivkov for them, for the another point for Zarovsky. We talk about patience early. With the where we at with Kapanen, Mr. Enortap, where he have a good year so far. That will bring my next subject. But when you're going to answer my subject, my next one, I want you to talk to a little bit more about Zarovsky inside of that subject. With that situation, Kapanen looking good. The Montreal 10-3-2. The Zarovsky performance. The Michael Edge performance. And what's going on? Do you think can use if the team stay at that level, at the top 10 or the top 12 team in NHL for the playoff? Do you expect major trade for a second center? Do you expect something could happen for the Montreal Canadiens or not from Ken Hughes?
I think, coach, if they're obviously in a position where they're going to be making some noise, it's something that Hughes would have to be doing his due diligence. Obviously, I think you're always in search of trying to improve your team, especially in light of the fact that you might be going into the playoffs and you might be needing somebody to fill a hole that is desperately needed at that time. Now, of course, there are, as you mentioned, Zorowski and Hage and a couple of other prospects that will be coming up, hopefully down the road. But that doesn't address today, right now, right? And I think you owe it to the team to sort of try to improve it if you can. And so if it means finding even a stopgap kind of player, again, I'm not saying this particular thing, but if it were somebody like an O'Reilly coming here to fill in a 2C spot for whatever reason for a short period of time, I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I think it can only bring the team closer together because you're adding a player with pedigree that's been there before, has won the cup, knows how to lead. He's been a captain. And again, I'm not suggesting that it's going to be O'Reilly, but it could be somebody of that nature that can come in and fill for a short period of time as you wait for your prospects to develop and get to that position where they can take over for the long term. I think that's you have to make it as seamless as possible. You can't go two or 3 years where you're not addressing a particular spot that it's in need, right? How long did they wait for Dobson? There was rumors last year that they were sort of circling the wagon about him. A couple of other defensemen as well. when the time came, they pulled the trigger, and yet lo and behold, here's Dobson on our team. So stranger things have happened, and I think Hughes will definitely be active. Whether anything happens, that I don't know, because he's not going to mortgage the team or any of the key prospects for something that is temporary. So we'll see.
Great point about that. Like people talk about fun news, it's fun thing about the Montreal. One the Islanders chose Eneman, Owen Beck. It was a signal that Easter is losing some shine about that. A lot of people talk about him. What do you feel about this, about Owen Beck?
Well, again, I think the expectation bar for him was a lot higher than it was set higher than what we are seeing, and so I still think there's definitely a future for back here. He's definitely going to be an NHLer. Kid yourself not. He's got great hockey IQ. I think he's good at the face-off circle. He brings a bit of an edge to his game as well. He can kill penalties, and he's got a knack of scoring some big time goals at key times in a game. So I think there is a pathway for him, more so than some other prospects that we've talked about in the Montreal system in the past. It's a matter of when does he put it all together, and will it be with Montreal or will it be somewhere else? Because they will need that as a blue chip piece to make a trade that will benefit Montreal.
Great point about that. Remember that the conversation between you and me about you take back, I said Kapanen. Like you, we was talking about the fact, like for me, I would be like Kapanen. I would take Kapanen before Beck. Remember that conversation after he won the MVP and the Memorial Cup a couple of years ago. You're back now. You're fine. You
Okay,
was
I didn't
freezing.
hear that.
Yeah, because I
So
talk against you, so you freeze. You fake it, Mr. Antap. I
yeah.
was thinking, Mr. Antap, about remember like I
What
was
was your
talking about. I was took Kapanen before Beck.
for I don't recall it, but yeah, I
Okay,
guess
so it was a
if you
conversation at some
remember,
point. Like we talk about
yeah,
some players, like between Beck and Kapanen. I would say Kapanen was going to have a better career long term with NHL versus Beck on that one. But it's not a big deal. It's just like
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
that's
maybe.
happening for me. I see more on the upside for him on that one. So it's all good, Mr. Tap. So Hughes will be interesting if he's going to move or not, Mr. Tap, for the next couple of things for that one. We have a couple of other things. Of course, honestly, we want to talk about Cole Caulfield. Was the subject of the night, Mr. Tap. Cole Caulfield, look, um, and I'm going to ask you this question at the same time for the people in the chat. So, Mr. Tap, you have two questions, two answer, and give us a bit more about Cole Caulfield. But meanwhile, guys, I want to know more about if you had to pick right now tonight after 15 games the MVP on the Montreal Canadiens. Now, only one player. Who it will be your MVP? And give us what you feel about Cole Caulfield, and maybe slide a prediction for Cole Caulfield at the end of the year, how many goals he's going to do, and what makes you Cole Caulfield who he is today, Mr. Tap. So a lot of things to answer, and the people in the chat, give me your MVP of the year.
Yeah, I guess I'll tackle the MVP part a little bit later. But I mean, to talk about Cole Caulfield, I mean, what more can you say? He's 12 goals, 6 assists. He's the number one scoring player in the league right now. But more importantly, I mean, those are the stats. Great. He's got 18 points. That's fantastic news. And that was never really in doubt that he could produce offensively. It was how well can they make it, to what degree can they make him a well rounded player? And I think that was the focus last year and to a lesser degree the year before. And he really focused on that part of his game. And we're starting to see just exactly how well rounded he is right now. Like he's definitely back checking. He's even getting involved with hits and from time to time as well. I think he's at a +9 or +10 in the course of the year. I mean, things are progressing definitely in a linear fashion, in an upward fashion for him, and I still think we haven't seen the ceiling yet for him. Is 40 goals plus out of the question? Absolutely not. I mean, this guy. I mean, you hate to talk about it too early, but I can definitely see him possibly hitting the 50 goal mark this year. It's just because he puts himself in the right place at the right time, and that first line is really reading each other well and clicking together. And when you have that alongside the fact that he's on the first power play unit, you're going to get the productivity, especially with somebody that's got his kind of shot. Would I put him as my MVP for the year? He's definitely in the conversation without a doubt. Um, but I'd probably have to throw Suzuki in that conversation as well. I mean, I know he's been quieter with the goals this year, but I mean, look at his goal streak that was broken. Not his goal streak, but his point streak that was broken the other night. Um, you know, remarkable results this year. He's up to 20 points already, and he's definitely, to me. I would put probably Suzuki as the MVP. Close honorable mention by Caufield.
Yeah. Look, you have a lot of great answer in the chat from Suzuki to Dobson to Caufield to Dobesh right now. Management on that one, on the is right there. And the Toronto have an empty net, Mr. on tap right now at this situation. So let's see for the last minute, if you don't mind, the puck in the defensive side of the cabinet, donc the puck in neutral zone. No, intercept at the blue line. The puck go behind the net now. Ballon with at the left side, cabinet, try the puck outside the zone, intercept by Tavares. Finally, go back on the left side, go outside the zone with 30 seconds to go remaining. OEL with the puck. He back now to Tavares. Tavares attaqué on the offensive side, dans the puck deep in the zone, chased by Nice. First one to get there is Walker. Ballon with 4 players behind the goal line. And finally, Toronto win the ballon, go back behind the net for Matthews. The ballon with Nikishian. Prend pas in front of the net. It's coming out. Nice. Bring back empty net. He missed the net. Go back to the Blue Grays on the left side in front of the net now. And the Canada going to recover the puck and icing the puck outside the zone. So it'll be the end of this game. And that's all. The Canada Hurricane win tonight, guys, by the score of the 5-4. What about all for that?
Good news. Good news, Coach.
I'm sorry?
That's good news. They lose.
Really good
Detroit
news, right?
loses today. Detroit lost today, so things are looking good.
And honestly, Mr. Top, the goaltender was Bossy for the Canada Hurricane tonight. They run with 3 goaltenders right now, Mr. Top, the Canada Hurricane.
Yeah. Not a good recipe, but for success.
That's happening with that. The Maple Leafs lose at PLW. A2 say the same thing. Pete Martin is in the house, Mr. Top. I forgot about him. Pete Martin is in the house. Talking about Pete Martin before we move on. Roger Dany, Suzuki for me. Without him, there has no first-time domination about that. Great selection, Mr. Top. It was my players with Setsuko with Cole Caufield. I don't know if I can do that. Why not? KCR is in the house. It's funny, KC, you talk about the Hart Trophy. It's because we're not there yet, but it's starting to make I don't want to get there yet, Mr. Montap, but at some point, some player from Montreal had to be considered for its front trophy in NHL, no?
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's
right?
going to be part of the conversation, yeah.
About that. So, good point, Mr. Casey, Roger Dany, about that. Now, the game late, Mike Sigan, favorite team for that one, Marco, the Anaheim Ducks tonight play at 10 o'clock against the Winnipeg Jet, team to watch for sure. So that give you guys about the Cole Caufield situation. We have a couple of things to do before the end. I'm going to jump in right away, Mr. Tap, at the clash. And then I'm going to come back with NHL news a little bit, and then finishing with the next game next week with the prediction of the people for the next week. How many points you think Montreal is going to get? So don't tell me right now. I'm not going to take a note. Before that, Mr. Enortap, the survivor, we still in the game with Pierre W, 8Q, Pete Martin, Mr. Enortap. We start at 15 people. 10 is out. Now we have only 5. Pierre W lead with 2 live still. So us, we have only 1 live. We lose. We are out of the survivor. We have to go there. And want to be at the end, Mr. Enortap. If we are only in December, we're going to do that again. We're going to do another survivor during the next second half of the season, if it's necessary. So that we'll go to the clash for you. Absolutely not allowed. Here we go. For 5 people in the chat, let me know for that one. Can Suzuki ever win the circuit if he does not play on PK, Mr. Enortap? Do you think Suzuki can win the circuit whenever he does not play on the PK?
Yeah, I think it's possible. First of all, he has played on the PK. I mean, that was part of our beef last year, that he had too much ice time on too many different situations. That's improved lately, but I think he's definitely capable of winning it without having to play on the PK for sure. It wouldn't be the first.
Yeah. Your thought on the Sean Couturier comments on Mishka, Mr. Enortap?
Yeah, that's unfortunate that obviously sometimes, a player makes those types of comments in a public venue in front of the media like that. It's one thing to tell the player in private or behind in your own locker room. That's one thing. But are we surprised? Like, there was a reason why Montreal overlooked him, right? We're talking about not his offensive skills, because without a doubt he's a very talented player who can score. But when he puts that above, let's say, developing his defensive game, then it becomes an issue. And I think that's what Coutier was trying to imply here, without coming right out and using names. But I just questioned the venue in which he decided to air it out in.
Great point about that. Well, the conversation was after the game. The captain, I think Sean Couturier, right? Mentioned those about Mishkov is a couple issue or the problem happening at the overtime. So that would create some kind of fun things. Here we go, Mr. Enortap. One of the 2 teams, the Seattle Kraken and Anaheim and the playoff. Now, people say, yeah, you asked this question. Yes, because they still, Mr. Enortap, and the top of the standing right now, they don't go down. So maybe it would change everything like there. But where are you with that question, Mr. Enortap? Absolutely or not allowed?
Wow. One of the 2 in the playoffs. Yeah, I could see Anaheim. I like the way things are coming together for them. We're starting to see even improvement and contribution by some of their veteran players. The Kreider, Trouba, and a couple of other players that have really started to contribute. But the leadership is there, and the young kids are really taking off. It's an exciting team to watch. Just like San Jose is, but to probably an extra level, because I think the development has been there for a little bit longer than San Jose has. Seattle, I expect them to probably drop a little bit as the year goes along. So I don't think Seattle makes it, but Anaheim has a solid chance. So I'm going to say absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with you about that. I will go with absolutely about this. Every year, Mr. Enortap, you have always a surprise 2 team, make a surprise. We don't expect them to be there. And I think it could be one of the 2. So I will say to you, I go with absolutely on that one, on this situation. Peace and not allowed. Full press hockey, Jim Beringer is on that. And I'm over Seattle, Jim Beringer. Hello, Mr. Jim. Hopefully you're doing well. Thank you so much, Marco. Check your game tonight, Marco. Appreciate that you stopped by tonight. Appreciate that to be in the chat. Both teams on top, the Rangers and the Columbus Blue Jacket, out of the playoff.
I'm going to say absolutely. I expected with the Rangers. I'm not surprised in the sense that I don't think that they solved what was at the core of their problems from last year and the year before. Actually, it started a couple of years ago with a lot of talk about trading some of their veterans and so on and so forth. And now there's rumbling even of other players that want to leave. So I'm not surprised that they're out of a playoff spot, and I don't anticipate them really jumping into a playoff spot anytime soon until they make some remediations with either upper management or some of the players on the team. Columbus, I expected a little bit of a drop back this year. I thought last year they had a fantastic year. They only finished 2 points out of a playoff spot. Um, and I say that only because I think that there was that extra motivation with Johnny Gaudreau and the passing away and dedicating the year and their play to that. So I expected a little bit of a drop back, but I still think that they're a solid team. It's just that if you start falling behind right now, as we get closer and closer to Remembrance Day, it's going to be much more difficult to make that up in the end after. So both of them out of the playoffs, I'll say absolutely.
I agree with you about that. I don't think see both of them going to be in the playoff. Good night, Harry. Everybody else, don't forget please to click on the likes. The next one is on top. Célébriner or Bedard finished top 3 in NHL number de points.
I'm going to say yes. I think that possibility is there. I mean, Celebrini has just been on fire, as has Bedard. But I mean, I I look at Celebrini and I think he also has a legitimate shot to make it on the Olympic team, the Canadian Olympic team. I think he brings a lot to the team, not just productivity, but in many different regards. And Bedard, I don't know if he'll make it this year to the Olympic team, but he's going to be in the conversation for sure. Will one of these two finish in the top three? I'm going to make a bold prediction and say yes, absolutely. And I think it'll be Celebrini.
Good point about that. It's hard
Plus, I
when you
have him in
think.
my pool.
It's hard when you think about McDavid. You think about McKinnon.
Yeah, yeah,
Right there, you have Kisherov and Kaprizov. It's difficult to be there, but those young men right now transform. It brings some vibe in NHL, guys, like never we saw this before, and we have to give credit for Bedard for me. Bedard, after 2 years in NHL, last year his difficult year whatsoever. He had not many, he just lost 1 point before the year before that. But what a breakout season he has right now with the team. Chicago,
yeah.
wow, what they are looking for. It's fun to see that. It's fun to see other new players and other team understanding. And but I would say they're not allowed because I still believe the McDavid, the McKinnon, and but I wouldn't be surprised if Bruni or Bellal make it top three. You're right for the Team Canada. I don't think both of them, but at least one of them could be with the team um, to be a part of the bottom 13 or 14. But will be really interesting for Team Canada very soon, guys. The rosters have to be announced, I think, in December or something like that. So we'll
They
see.
will do
It could
it
be
this
on
summer.
this one. I like comments about that in the chat. And thanks so much, everybody, for that one. Richard 90 point might be hard for both players.
It's
Florida,
possible.
Mr. Missed the playoff.
I'm going to say not at all. I've learned over the years that you don't count these guys out. They have the depth. I know right now they're what, seventh in the Atlantic, but really, what's the difference between where was Tampa Bay about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago? They were in the basement, as was Boston, and all of a sudden, in a week and a half, they've turned things around. Boston, I think, now is in second behind Montreal, and Tampa is in third. I know Florida right now is in seventh, but I think that once they start getting some of their injured players back, it's going to make a huge difference. So I'm going to say not at all.
I would go with yes. I know I should said not allowed, but every year I'm always against them, so I'm going to consider against them, Mr. Antap.
So let me
Here's
get
the reason I
coach.
said that to you, Mr. Antap.
Let me get this straight. You're counting out Florida out of a playoff spot, and you're counting out the Leafs. So that opens up two spots. Who do you think they are?
Montreal, Ottawa.
Well, they were there last year.
Okay, so both of them was in the playoff last season, right? So we're going to be Detroit will be in, and after that it will be between the Boston could be in also. But the Florida, Mr. Top, the problem is this: Barkov,
Yeah,
Kudikov,
that's
Katchuk, Katovich, Nozek. That's five.
yeah.
Out of them, out until February.
And they've been playing a lot of hockey over the last 4 years, right?
Exactly. So for me, I go with miss the playoff. I
Okay.
know you're going to tell me at the end
We'll
of the
see.
year, but we'll see what happens in Miss Antap.
The
Both New
channel will
York,
say that too.
New York, New York, New York, out of the playoff, Miss Antap.
Both of them. Well, I've already said the Rangers. I think for sure. The Islanders. I mean, you know where I always stand with the Islanders. I think they're always a team that's on the bubble there. Right now, they're just outside of a wild card, two or 3 points. You know what? It all depends on the goaltending. If Sorokin can hold them in there, I think that offensively they may be there. And having Schaefer there is such a huge plus. Um, but it's going to be tough. Like there's so much parity. So as much as I'd like to see the Islanders in there, I'm going to say not at all. Uh, or actually, both New York out of the playoffs. I'm going to say absolutely, yeah, both of them.
Absolutely, I agree with you about that. I feel the same way, Miss Antap. For both, I don't think the Rangers and the Islanders are going to make it. Unfortunately for them, I always said to Carolina Devils
Yeah,
going to make it. Um, Washington. Now, we see. It's going to be very interesting anyway. The Flyers are there right now. The Columbus is double. It's going to be a really a stir the pot on that one. He's going to have a lot of surprise this year, Mr. Antap. I
I
feel
think
like
so.
there's going to be a lot of surprise about that when you think about closely what could happen. We have about 17 minutes, Mr. Santa. We're going to talk about the Montreal Canadiens, what is coming next week. And it's a time for the people to tell me how many points the Montreal is going to get at. Last week, Mr. Santa, a festival of the winner for the most win, the most point last week. And let's see what I got here, Mr. Santa. Next game, the Kings. But last week, Mr. Santa, I have to tell you who's win. First of all, 4-point call it. Guy, PLW. We have Zealander or Z-Loader, who knows. Enortap, you win. François Pitt, Reggie, Coach, A2, SLG, Ron with Kings, Pete Martin, Mr. Tap. You all copy me and you win again. 3 weeks, Mr. Tap. I'm right, Mr. Tap. 3 weeks. So now tonight, I'm going to be the last one to give the number because you everybody win because of me. So, Mr. Tap, will give me how many points?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Coach. Just for the record, I gave my answer before you last week, but that's
But
okay.
no,
I'll take the.
no, I have to correct you. I gave it the morning at the French show in the morning.
Oh well, I wasn't in the French show. Pardon-moi.
Here we go, Mr.
Anyway,
Tap. Explain who you're going to get it. I get LDP at 5 points. Garrett is at 3, by the way. Thanks so much,
okay,
Mr.
so
Enortap. Tell us a little bit
yeah.
more.
Um, well, the thing is, okay, LA they have on Tuesday at home, where they've played relatively well. Um, I mean, LA's picked up their game a little bit lately, but I still think that's a doable game. Dallas is on Thursday, also at home, and followed by Boston, also at home. So you know what? Uh, I I don't dislike this. I'm gonna go with 5 points. 5 points.
5 point, Mr. Enortap, on that one. Michael Eminem, go with 4, Mr. Enortap. Your final answer, Mr. Enortap?
5.
5. Antoine said go with 6, Mr. Enortap. I don't know, Gary Calnier,
Possible.
I did not get your point, Mr. Gary Calnier. If you want to give us your point before you leave the building, that'd be great. I got many of them: Garrett, Claude
He said
Richard,
5.
RDP.
Gary said 5.
Um 6 for Larry. Gary said how many?
Gary said 5, I believe, if I read it correctly earlier.
Gary?
Yeah.
I think I 5 right now. I have LDP, A2, Guy, and Enortap. We're
Yeah.
going to give him 5, Mr. Enortap. Gary said get 5 on this one. McKinnon score, Mr. Enortap. 1-0 Colorado. Nikushkin and McCall get an assist on that one. Still Minnesota winning, guys. Only 1-0 against the Flames. But I always choose 6 points, but Dallas would be tough. Mark, Mark go with
It
6,
will be.
Mr. Enortap.
It's at home. That's what I like. It's at home. I tell
So,
you what coach is going to go with. Coach is going to go with 4.
5 point, Gary Gonoyer. Here we go.
Yeah.
They beat Mr. Enortap, Kings, and Boston, and they tied the Dallas, right?
Yeah. That's what I think.
Okay. I'll go with 4, Mr. Enortap.
Told you.
Uh,
I
4.
could read coach's mind.
They're going to lose against Dallas. I always think they're struggling with Dallas. Billy go with 4, Mr. Enortap. Billy, thanks to copy me on that one. Maurice go with 5.
Don't take it personally, Billy.
He copied Mr. Enortap on that one. I said 5. Guy, you're absolute about this, Guy. We give you 5 on that one. For sure. Standerman, go with 4. Standerman, you register right there on that one. Couple of quick news in the NHL before we get out here, Mr. Enortap, very quickly, if you don't mind. And let's see what we got here. Logan Mailloux is going to be an American Hockey League.
Absolutely.
Do you know who is first game?
Who is first game?
When he played his first game, again, who?
I don't remember the first game of the season. You mean for?
Yeah, he's going to play Wednesday night,
St. Louis?
Mr. Enortap, for Springfield. That's the Cliff Farm,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And they play again the Laval Rocket.
Ah, well, there you go.
That's
Old,
great. That's funny to see
pumping
that,
ground.
right? What a great coincidence happening, guys. So he was sent down and is going to be with the Laval Rocket on that one, Mr. Enortap. Is it surprise you?
Not really. I mean, we saw it a few times with Montreal when he was up here and playing. I mean, we saw flaws to his game that we thought he needed to improve on in order to stick for the long run. And I think when he first went to St. Louis, I mean, his first few games were not bad, but I think that there was the turnovers started to really mount up, and he's had difficulty trying to adapt to what they want to do in St. Louis. It hasn't been a great situation in St. Louis, as we know. I think they might be last place team right now, if I'm not mistaken. And you know, those kind of mistakes get sort of highlighted when you're losing, right? So I think it's for the best that he goes down and tries to develop his game a little bit more, and then you know at some point he can come back up and hopefully help St. Louis in their drive.
Nathan McKinnon me sentait 2 goals back-to-back. 2-0
Again.
Colorado.
Oh
Seneca
my
scored
God.
his 5th goal of the year, me sentait.
Oh wow. Yeah. Well, Seneca is
Pierre Dubois is going to be out 3 to 4 months.
big hole for Washington. Yeah.
Not
Pierre-Luc
looking
Dubois.
good over there, me sentait. And we'll see what's happening about that. Standing, me sentait. Montreal, Boston, 1-2. New Jersey, Pittsburgh, 1-2. Colorado, Dallas, 1-2. Anaheim, Vegas, 1-2, guys. At the bottom, Calgary, St. Louis, Nashville, Buffalo, Columbus. If you see those 5 teams on top, do you feel one of the 5 teams is going to make a splash, or really they're going to be at the bottom? Like, no, maybe not 5, but it will be really, they're not going to go nowhere.
Are we talking about the 5 that are currently at the bottom?
Calgary, St. Louis, Nashville, Buffalo,
Yeah. Yeah.
Columbus.
Will any of them make a move? I mean, I still got to believe that there's more to St. Louis and Columbus. Columbus for sure. St. Louis as well. I think they really missed Thomas out of the lineup, and the defense has been sort of decimated all year long. The goaltending has not been good. Both you and I know, because we have the 2 goaltenders in our fantasy pool, and they've been hurting us. So if those guys can come around, they can make a bit of a push. I'm not so sure that they'll make the playoffs, but I would say St. Louis, followed closely behind by Columbus, could still make a bit of a splash.
Yeah, I don't think so. Those 5 teams on top. I think very soon you're going to get some trade
Yeah,
in November. Calgary, St. Louis Blues, and the Nashville Predator. I think Columbus
and
could
maybe
be out of
Buffalo.
that. I wouldn't be surprised. But, Nashville, St. Coast, Tyree O'Reilly, 2 name is coming very close on my head right now. Um, that would be 2 name could be out. St. Louis, this will be very interesting what they're going to do over there. Burning Shine could be out. Can they trade Kiru on that one? Can they trade another players like Perenko? Could be out for the St. Louis
No.
Blues. And I think they're going to try to go down. I think they're going to try to get McKenna to go a little bit there. I would not be surprised. It's not going to be a rebuilding or be a retool, Mr. Top. They're going to try to get at the bottom 5 of the NHL, the St. Louis Blues, Mr. Top.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I wouldn't put it out of the question.
Calgary, Anderson, Coleman, Kadri, our 3 players. I wouldn't be surprised they trade 3 of them. They still questionable with Carey and Coronado. Wegar is still 4 years to go. I think Huberdeau contract not go nowhere. But this is another thing we're going to very soon to get out of this situation on that one. Good night, Mr. Maurice Robillard. Maurice,
And do you
another
think?
member of the squad of Thailand. Hopefully,
Yeah.
Maurice, you're doing well. I don't know if you're moving or not. Sako, Sako Kuivu. Like, Ko Samui. About that. You're right, Francois, about the goaltender at St. Louis Blues. So they give you, Mr. Tap, what's going on that team, on those situations. I want to talk about are you surprised? And I will ask you this question for the people in the chat. We have about a couple of minutes. You see those teams. If
Yeah.
we look about our prediction at the beginning of the season, I think most of the team right there will fill up the bottom 10 of NHL. Understanding, right? Maybe not
4 out
Montreal,
of 5.
right?
Yeah.
But they have some kind of the situation. I could remove Montreal there, but Pittsburgh, Boston, Flyers, Detroit, Anaheim, Chicago, Seattle, and San Jose, guys. They are right now on the top of the 12 team and NHL 15 team make the playoff right now. Are you surprised? And then are you? What are the reasons behind that? What you feel about what's going on?
Montreal, I'm not surprised. Maybe as high as they are, yes, but I definitely thought that they would be a playoff bound team. I'm surprised with Pittsburgh. I'm surprised with Boston, uh, Philadelphia, Detroit, not as much. But um, what's happened. I mean, some players have really stepped up. I think that goaltending has improved in those cases, like Pittsburgh's goaltending, Boston's goaltending has improved. And let's face it, when you have solid goaltending, you have a chance of winning on a nightly basis. So I mean, you look at Crosby for Pittsburgh, and he's just been on fire. Uh, Pasta has been for Boston as well. Um, in terms of the teams that are at the bottom, well, they're not at the bottom, but teams that would be surprising. I don't see a surprise with Anaheim. I thought that they would be probably on the outside of a wild card
Mr.
looking
Enortap,
in.
you feel them like you expect them to be at the first position?
Not the first. No, I'm. What I'm saying is, I'm not surprised that they're in that spot. Right. Like I always thought Anaheim would definitely be in the conversation of a playoff spot. Chicago a little bit. I thought they would be improved, but not to the extent that we're seeing. But given some of the young stars there this year and that are performing, even Levshinov now is starting to come around. We saw Nazar Bedard this year getting contributions from Bertuzzi, Renzel, and more importantly with Chicago, and nobody's been talking about this, is the play of Spencer Knight. Like again, if you have the goaltending on a night to night basis, you have the opportunity to win the games. Seattle, I think will come down to
And
earth a
today,
little
Mr.
bit.
Enortap, Soder's Blum was out of his
Yes,
mind. 45 shot save on 46.
that's
So
right.
that's crazy if
A
you can about
5-1
that for
victory.
sure.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So Seattle, I think, will come down a little bit. I don't think that they'll make the playoffs. San Jose won't either, I don't believe. But exciting team to watch play, like San Jose and Anaheim, even Chicago to a little bit lesser degree. But Montreal, of course, they're young, exciting teams to watch. And you see what you're seeing is when you're doing a rebuild, these teams have been doing it the right way, and you're starting to see uh, the fruits of the seeds that you sowed, right? Like it's easier to for them to with the stars that they have to start making some noise in the NHL, and they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. I'm telling you right now.
I agree with you about that. So you can see, guys, it's still early. We just passed the first month of the season in NHL. We start the season, I believe, October 7th or 8th. But you have already a couple of things in the standing and a couple of things happening with what we learned. I'm working on the number right now, the many as over time this season, Mr. Tap. And then you have the parity is going on in NHL on the Eastern Conference. So at the end, I think this is going to be really fun to watch for the next month. And couple of teams are really try to figure out and how we're going to have a panic moment. Pike's Fund organization the next couple of weeks. We won't see very quickly, Mr. Tap. I know we hit the 10:30 very quickly, guys. The young guns in NHL, Bedard, Cédric Brunet, and we never talk about Leo Carlson, not
Carlson,
John Carlson, but Leo Carlson, guys, in
yeah,
Anaheim.
yeah.
What a great year he's doing right now, and I could add more. We talk about Demidov. We can talk about Gauthier with the Anaheim Ducks, Mr. Sheffer, and the young gun. A lot of players right now. Seneca is another one. Bedard, like I mentioned. So many of players on the flip side. I go them as on top. The old guns lead NHL in front ways. Malkin, Crosby, Jake Allen is on top. What a great year he has. Jonathan
Hmm.
Quick. With the number one on the save percentage on the goal again average, and I could get more players with other. Corey Perry came back only 7 goals with the Kings this season, Mr. Tap. So many young
And
guns
he
on
was
the
injured.
IT up. A great point A2 about that. So That's it. That's all, Mr. Enortap. I will let you go. Then I want to let you know your last final word of the week. What are you looking for and overall for the Montreal Canadiens, Mr. Enortap?
It's going to be repetitive because I'm looking for again.
Mr. Enortap, you're in the freezer right now. You have to get out of the freezer if you want to tell us what's going on for the Montreal Canadiens this week. If not, we're going to move on. You're absolutely right. Entry says Kendall. I didn't mention about Kendall. It's under one. Fini with Detroit can go all the way like that. We lost Mr. Enortap. We apologize, Mr. Enortap. No big deal. We are on way at the end of the show. And like we do at the end of the show, it's going to be very interesting. Now, tomorrow night is Monday night. We talk a lot about Montreal Canadiens tonight. I'm going to do the game, Islanders Devils, play-by-play, I believe. And we're going to do a quick show after that, Montreal Canadiens. Now, I can share my mind. The only thing we know, we never stop to work here. We work 7 days per week. Every night, we do something at the Hockey Nation. And that's the reason that people come here to talk about the Montreal Canadiens and anything's going on around the league. What a great night. What a good find. A good time about that one over there. Yes, A2. I eject Mr. Enortap out of the building that way. Run with Kings at the monitor. Mr. Marco Larrabee was with us tonight. Great to see Jim Beringer. We're going to catch up with you, Mr. Jim, the next couple of days. And then great to see all of you with us tonight. Ozzy Carbo, the news and update. And Enortap at the co-host tonight. Wednesday, Marcos will be with us talking about his AB home day. Montreal play Tuesday, the Kings. Thursday, the Dallas Star. Saturday, the Montreal Canadiens host the Boston Bruins. We're going to do the Grey Cup CFL final, Saskatchewan and Montreal. I believe it's Sunday at 6:30, 7 o'clock. I could be wrong, but I think this is what I'm thinking. And that's what we're going to do, guys, all week long. Week's number 2. And I'm going to leave you that way, guys. I know people leaving or not. I want to celebrate one thing here at the Hockey National Show. Wish happy birthday to Yamo Vertanen. Turn whatever his age. And I keep this secrets until to the end of the show because I didn't want to get there. But I want to do that to you guys. I wanted to play the song, but I cannot do play the song because we have the music here. But today, it was my birthday. Today, November 9, was my birthday. So I want to say that it was a great day on me. Now, we have November 10 now. So I celebrate 2 days of my birthday. One in Thailand and one in Canada. So one more year. Another candle on the top of the cake, my friend. And we're not getting younger, but we stay younger. And I'm very happy about my health, about everything turn around to be good. So that's it for tonight for everybody. So wish you an amazing, great night, everybody. And you're welcome, M&M, on that one. Merci beaucoup, Harry. Merci beaucoup, A2. Yeah, 42. It sounds like that one, but nothing to hide, guys. Big 63 today. Wow. Life is flying, my friend. And you're welcome, Pete Martin. I appreciate a lot. Guy, thanks so much. And Francois Pitt, I appreciate a lot. Jim, yes, sir. Here we go. Happy birthday to 250 years at U.S. Marine Corps. So here we go. Cheesecake and Enortap. Yeah, about a thing like that. Larry Lavalley, thanks so much. You're welcome, Jim. I appreciate a lot. MK, bon anniversaire. Merci beaucoup. Appreciate a lot. And then we have many others. Mark, thanks so much, everybody. Barry also. And Mr. Dan. And the only reason who we are.
You are
awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you. Be well, be health. Find a way not only to dominate your day, but find a way to dominate the second app or what? Someone said 2025. We wish you an amazing, great night, everybody. Great weeks. A lot more things coming in the Hockey Nation, the Ab Nation. Until then, the Hockey Nation, the Ab Nation, and all the animal inside of the kingdom and talent. Want to tell you one more thing, sir. We love you, friends. Thanks so much, everybody. Appreciate a lot. I can wait to see you next time. We always stay young inside of the heart. Not here, but the heart is still young. And until I can do it, I will be here every single night. Thanks so much for all your friendship you bring on the table. And I can wait to see you next time, my friend. Tomorrow night, be aware, 7 o'clock or 8:30. I think to do Islanders, Devils. I like to do one game per week outside of the Montreal Canadiens. Let's get that one over there. There we go, Mr. Anthony. Good night. Booyah.